Hello, brothers and sisters. I want again to welcome all of you to a new lesson. This lesson is all about the process of voicing. And in the last lessons, we said voicing is the act or the process of translating a signed message into a spoken language. For this case, we mean that you are able to look at someone signing, get the message, and translate this message into a spoken language, which can be either Kiswahili, English, or any other language that correlate with sign language. Now, we as sign language users, sign language interpreters, the family members, and all of us interested to learn sign language, for we to be able to participate fully in the process of voicing, there are some factors we as the language sign language users we have to consider before the process of voicing. Now, amongst these factors, we say that one of the major steps is your ability as an interpreter and capacity to own or use a target language. For this case, we mean that now that you are translating the signed message into a spoken language, which for this case should be English or another language. Now, you should be able as an interpreter or a sign language user to be able to own that language you are translating into. For example, if you are using English, you should be able to understand all the grammar order, language pattern, and structures of English in order to facilitate the process of voicing so easily. So that's why we say, as a last sign language user, you have to get to know the language you are translating into. The next thing is about the time lag. The time lag for this case, we say normally this is about 10 seconds, a pause period, for you to understand the type of message the signer is giving or intends to give before your voicing takes place. Now, in this point, we mean that when you start voicing, it's not about the matter of looking at someone signing and giving out what the person is intending to give to the audience. That's not the case. As a good sign language teller who possesses this ability of voicing, you should be able at least to have 10 seconds to look at someone signing, get the message from the signer, understand before you engage yourself into a voicing process. Otherwise, you can end up giving the wrong voicing. The next thing, as interpreters or sign language user, the factor to put in place during or before the process of voicing is that we must know where and how to punctuate our message. Now, when someone is signing, remember we said that when you are using sign language, you have to follow the language pattern and structure of sign language, which is different from the language you will be voicing into. So that means that the language that you are translating to, you have yourself to know where you are going to put punctuation marks. You must know when to pause and when to end the statements as it comes from the signer. That's very important, and it's one of the major factors that we as interpreters should put into consideration as we engage in voicing process. The next thing is about grammatical order or choice of words that are signed or voiced. Now, for this case, we mean what the signer is giving out, the type of words or signs he is using or she is using. we don't have necessarily to give out or voice exactly what we see, but we have to make the selection of words appropriately ourselves. So you, as a sign language teller or signer, you have to look at the signs, get the meaning, and select the words you are going to use or voice appropriately. Of course, to avoid giving a different meaning or giving your own opinion or hurting the audience. The next thing is about clearing the voice, and you must be audible when you are voicing and have clear pronunciation. Now, this is what we mean by this, that your voice has to be very clear. There are times when some people voice and anyone maybe at a distance of more than 5 meters cannot hear. So you, as a sign language teller, you must be able to know the position where you are going to stand when voicing, so that all of your audience, not even one, should be left out of the discussion. So that means that our voices should be very clear and very audible to reach all the audience. The last thing in the process of voicing, we say employ a self-monitoring tool process. Listen to your voice and don't ignore what you don't like in it. Change if it need to be. Now, it's very important that we, as interpreters or sign language teller, we have to listen to ourselves. That way, we'll be employing the self-monitoring tool in this process of voicing, in that we listen to our own voice and try to try to understand what our own self is talking to us before we give out the message. Meaning to say that when, as you struggle to get the meaning of the signs, you have to listen to yourself. You have to think. You have to make a wise decision before you give out the message. Now, there are so many factors that we as sign language interpreters have to put into place before voicing. But for this level, we have to discuss 6 of them. The rest of the factors we'll discuss during the 3rd module and during interpretation process. Otherwise, I want to encourage you that you continue practicing reading the notes, watching and listening, and I also want to welcome any critique message that you may have, so that we as a team, we may work together to enable our brothers and sisters who are less privileged in the society to also feel that they are part and parcel of the community. Otherwise, God bless you as you practice.